Sometime in my adolescence, before 6th grade approximately, we read a book about Ben Carson, and he was a really great surgeon, and just reading about all the people he helped, I thought, I could possibly want to do that. And then I decided, I actually saw a surgery performed on the Discovery Channel, and they actually kept the patient awake during the entire surgery and flashed flashcards while they were actually performing the surgery. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is something I definitely want to do, because it's one of few surgeries where you're actually awake during the entire procedure. So I really want to focus my research on autism, but my practice would be more in just neurosurgery and the ins and outs of the brains and cognitive processes and things like that. So I would do both. I plan to do both. One of the things that it took was a lot of thought, because you think, okay, I've got A and I've got B, how do I turn those into C? It took me having to say, okay, I've got my one passion for neurosurgery, I've got another passion for autism, how can I make those two things go together? My type A personality says, you know, you do this first, and then you do this, and then you do this, and there's a clear path. But when I first got to college, I was kind of surprised, because my advisor was like, well, you know, you can just take these classes whenever, as long as you take them before you graduate. But in high school, it's okay, you take Algebra 1, then Geometry, then Algebra 2, then Pre-Cal with Algebra, then Pre-Cal with Trig, and then Calculus. And in college, there's no clear path. And so thinking about medical school and wanting to be a neurosurgeon with autism and this not existing, there's no clear-cut path. It'll just be however I would like to get there. So one of the things I feel that the University of North Alabama has prepared me for, with the diversity aspect of no two students being the same on campus, is that no two patients that I see, whether it's in an emergency room or in an office or even in my research, will be the same. So I feel like I'm already getting preparation with handling people that are different in that aspect. The brain is where your personality comes from. And when I talk about diversity and no two people being alike, in essence, the cognitive processes of their brains are not alike. And so I kind of feel like there's a direct correlation between my passion for people and diversity and my passion for the brain. But just the fact that it can weigh so much and do so much, but effectively float inside your head and weigh ounces, like less than, like barely anything, is just phenomenal to me. Your brain controls things that you're not even aware of. Neurons fire, and it makes you do stuff that you don't even know you're doing, like the fact that you're breathing and you don't realize that you're breathing. It's all because your brain is telling your body to do it, and it's just a subconscious thing. Or the fact that you have to blink enough for your eyes not to dry out, or your liver has to do stuff, but you don't sit there and think, hey liver, can you shoot me out some extra glucose, or can you store this glucose, or hey cell, I need you to use the mitochondria to break down this stuff and do that great stuff. It's intimidating every time I sit there and think, so if I get off 1/4 of a centimeter while I'm performing surgery, I could not only damage this person's brain and they could possibly be brain dead for the rest of their life, but I could kill them. So sometimes it's intimidating, but it's more exciting than intimidating, and I feel like that's why I don't focus on the intimidating factor of it for too long. Because if most people sit there and think, you mean to tell me 1/4 of a centimeter I'm off, 1/2 of a millisecond, and somebody's dead, that's too much pressure. But I can handle it.